Good afternoon. Everybody, please come to one question. I'm going to dictate this question to you. Source of this question, write down May 2019 exam. May 2019 exam for 10 marks only. May 2019 exam for 10 marks only. So please write this question. Please write this question. The following information was the following information was the following information was provided by the following information was provided by PQR Limited. PQR Limited. The following information was provided by PQR Limited for the year ended 31st March 2019. For the year ended 31st March 2019. Gross profit ratio was 25%. Gross profit ratio was 25%. For the year, gross profit ratio was 25% for the year, which amounted to rupees 3,75,000. Which amounted to rupees 3,75,000. From the gross profit ratio, you can calculate the sales. Please write down little fast. Companies sold goods for cash only. Companies sold goods for cash only. Remember, this is an exam question for 10 marks. So give serious attention to it. Companies sold goods for cash only. Point number 3. Opening inventory was lesser than the closing inventory. Opening inventory was lesser than the closing inventory by rupees 25,000. By rupees 25,000. By rupees 25,000. Wages paid during the year. Wages paid during the year. Wages paid during the year. Rupees 5,55,000. Wages paid during the year rupees 5,55,000. Please write down the question. Point 5. Office expenses paid during the year. Office expenses paid during the year rupees 35,000. Office expenses paid during the year rupees 35,000. Point 6. Selling expenses paid during the year. Selling expenses paid during the year rupees 15,000. Selling expenses paid during the year rupees 15,000. Dividend paid during the year rupees 40,000. Dividend paid during the year rupees 40,000, including dividend distribution tax. Including dividend distribution tax. Including dividend distribution tax. Point 8. Bank loan repaid during the year. Bank loan repaid during the year rupees 2,05,000. Bank loan repaid during the year rupees 2,05,000, including interest, including interest, including interest rupees 5,000, including interest rupees 5,000, including interest rupees 5,000. First write down the question. Trade payable on 31st March 18, trade payable on 31st March 18 were rupees 50,000, were rupees 50,000, and on 31st March, and on 31st March, and on 31st March 2019 were 35,000, and on 31st March 2019 was 35,000. Point number 10, amount paid to trade payable, amount paid to trade payable during the year, amount paid to trade payable during the year, rupees 6,10,000, rupees 6,10,000. 11 number point, income tax paid during the year, income tax paid during the year amounts to 55,000, amounts to 55,000. Income tax paid during the year amounts to rupees 55,000. Provision for taxation, provision for taxation as on 31st March 2019, 30,000. Provision for taxation as on 31st March 2019 is 30,000. Then you write down investment of rupees 8,20,000, investment of rupees 8,20,000 sold during the year, sold during the year at a profit of rupees 20,000. Investment sold for 8,20,000 at a profit of rupees 20,000, at a profit of rupees 20,000. 13 number point, depreciation on furniture amounted to rupees 40,000. Depreciation on furniture amounted to rupees 40,000. Depreciation on furniture amounted to rupees 40,000. And point 14, depreciation on other tangible asset, depreciation on other tangible asset amounted to rupees 20,000. Depreciation on other tangible asset amounted to rupees 20,000, amounted to rupees 20,000. Then it says plant and machinery purchased, plant and machinery purchased on 15th November 2018, plant and machinery purchased on 15th November 2018 for 3,50,000. On 31st March 2019, on 31st March 2019, rupees 2 lakh 7% debenture, rupees 2 lakh 7% debenture were issued at a face value, were issued at a face value in an exchange for the plant, in an exchange for the plant. So now this item is a non-cash item. This will not be reflected in cash flow statement. This will not be reflected in cash flow statement purposefully. Such adjustments are given. Point number 17, cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent on 31st March 18. Cash and cash equivalent on 31st March 18, rupees 2,25,000. Rupees 2,25,000. Cash and cash equivalent on 31st March 2018 is rupees 2,25,000. Is rupees 2,25,000. Is rupees 2,25,000. Prepare cash flow statement for the year ended 31st March 19 using direct method. Underline. Prepare cash flow statement for the year ended 31st March 19 using direct method. This is one question, and immediately they have asked you one more question. Calculate cash flow from operating activities. Oh my God. Under indirect method. Calculate cash flow from operating activity using indirect method. Using indirect method. So this question, second part is only cash flow from operating activity. First, I will complete the first part, direct method, which is very easy. So all of you please follow me. First, we will draw the format. Write down name of the company, PQR Limited. Name of the company, write PQR Limited. Cash flow statement, direct method. Direct method is easy. For the year ended, 31st March 2019. For the year ended 31st March 2019. Right hand side, two columns. Rupees. First we will write down A. Cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from operating activities. Keep about 6 lines blank. Then write down cash generated from operations. Cash generated from operations. Under cash generated from operation, next line write down less income tax paid. Less income tax paid. Therefore, cash flow from operating activities. Therefore, cash flow from operating activities. So this is your first part. Direct method format is very easy. Now please write down, dear student, point number B, cash flow from investing activities. Cash flow from investing activities. Under cash flow from investing activities, keep around 4 or 5 lines blank. Keep 4 or 5 lines blank. and then below that write down point number C. Below that write point number C, cash flow from financing activities. Cash flow from financing activities. Keep 5 lines blank. Then write down net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Point number E, cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the period. Cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the period. Point F, cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. At the end of the period. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. So this is the format for direct method. Okay. Tell me whether format is ready, everybody. Is your format ready? Yes. So once your format is ready, we can solve the question very, very simply. Okay. The question says, the following information was provided by PQR Limited for the year ended 31st March 19. Point number 1 is, gross profit ratio was 25% for the year, which is 3,75,000. And point number 2 says companies sold good for cash only. Companies sold goods for cash only means, can we find out the cash sales? Can we find out the cash sales? Yes. So cash flow from operating activity, cash sales. Simply you take 3,75,000 and divide by 25%. That will give you cash sales figure. That will give you cash sales figure. So Tirupati is welcome. Name of the student, Tirupati Bhimavaran. After many days, you have attended the class. Where had you gone? Did you go to visit Tirupati temple? So now we'll come to 3,75,000 divided by 25% is 15 lakh rupees. 15 lakh is positive cash flow, right? 15 lakh is positive cash flow. Point number 2, goods are sold for cash only. We have done. Opening inventory was lesser than the closing inventory by rupees 25,000. This will be required for indirect method. Point number 3 will be required for indirect method. Point number 4, wages paid during the year. Wages paid during the year is 5,55,000. So wages paid will come in operating activity. Wages. How much is wages paid? Wages paid, write down in bracket 5,55,000. Then office expenses paid. Point number 3, office expenses paid. Office expenses paid 35,000. Office expenses paid 35,000. Selling expenses paid 15,000 in bracket. Selling expenses paid 15,000 in bracket. Then dividend paid during the year 40,000 including dividend distribution tax. So this will come in financing activity. This will come in financing activity, cash flow from financing activity. Under that, write 1, dividend paid, including dividend distribution tax, DDT, including DDT, dividend distribution tax, in bracket write 40,000, in bracket write 40,000. Next is bank loan repaid during the year 2,05,000, including interest. So I will come to cash flow from financing activity again. Cash flow from financing activity, bank loan paid, including interest. Bank loan paid including interest, 2,05,000. 2,05,000. Point number 9. Trade payable on 31st March 18 was 50,000 and on 31st March 19 was 35,000. So this trade payable opening and closing balance, this will be required for indirect method. This will be required for change in working capital. Even that inventory which they had mentioned here, this will be required for indirect method. Amount paid to trade payable, this I require for direct method. Amount paid to trade payable in direct method operating activity, write down amount paid to trade payable, amount paid to trade payable, and that is equal to 6,10,000 in bracket 6,10,000. I hope you are writing nicely. Income tax paid during the year 55,000. Provision for taxation was 30,000. So right now you just come to income tax paid, operating activity, income tax paid here, last second item, operating activity, in bracket write 55,000. In bracket 55,000. Provision for income tax will not come in direct method. Then we will come to investment of rupees 8,20,000 sold during the year at a profit of 20,000. So my question is to this batch of highly talented student, what is the sale value of investment? What is the sale value of investment? 8,20,000, 8,40,000 or option C 8 lakh? Choose the correct option. Sale value of investment. Student will reply in 5 seconds. Student will reply in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what is the correct answer for sale of investment? 8,40,000. Most of you got it right. Come to investing activity. Under investing activity, write down sale of investment. Book value was 8,20,000 and plus profit made 20,000. If it is profit, add. If it is loss, minus. Venu Gopal is right, Tanya is right, Jan is right. This is positive cash flow, 8,40,000. Continue. Depreciation on furniture amounted to rupees 40,000. Depreciation on furniture, this will not come in direct method. This we will require for indirect method. Depreciation on other tangible asset, indirect method. Plant purchased will be required Direct method investing activity. Direct method investing activity, plant purchased. Plant purchased is in bracket, right? 3,50,000. Okay. Chetan was also right. Chaurasia was right. Next is on 31st March. On 31st March, 2 lakh rupees, 7% debenture were issued at a face value in exchange of plant. Non-cash transaction. So this will not be reflected in cash flow statement. 17th number point, cash and cash equivalent on 31st March 18 is rupees 2,25,000. So this is my opening cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the period is 2,25,000. 2,25,000. Okay. So now the answer is almost over. Student will tell me here in cash flow from operating activity, what is the cash generated from operation? What is the cash generated from operation? Give me the final figure. Cash generated from operation is 2,85,000. Check the answer. Minus 55,000. So cash flow from operating activity will be 2,30,000. Cash flow from operating activities will be 2,30,000. Cash flow from investing activity 8,40,000 minus 3,50,000 is 4,90,000. 4,90,000. Cash flow from financing activity, both are negative, 40,000 and 2,04,000. 2,45,000. 2,45,000. Take the total. 2,30,000 plus 4,90,000 minus 2,45,000. So kindly reply. The answer is net increase. Increase word tick mark. Net increase in cash and cash equivalent 4,75,000. 4,75,000. Add 2,25,000. So what is your cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period? So this will come to 4, 6 and 1, 7 lakh. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year 7 lakh. So this figure must be right. There is no way to cross check the answer because closing cash is not given. Institute will first look at this number. If this is right, they will give you full marks. Otherwise, you may lose marks. This answer is over, but we will dictate one note. Write down the note. Write down the note. Sir, what is the note? Note, write down. Note for that non-cash item. Debenture issued. Debenture issued in exchange for a plant is not included in cash flow statement. Venu Gopal You are right. Is not included in cash flow statement because no inflow or outflow of cash is involved, because no inflow or outflow of cash is involved. No inflow or outflow of cash is involved. Is this right? Is this answer right? Part 1 is over. The answer is not fully over because there is a second question. Calculate cash flow from operating activities. Calculate cash flow from operating activities using indirect method. So when they are saying using indirect method means we have to take profit figure and make adjustment for three categories: non-cash item, items required to be disclosed under other heading, and three is the working capital changes. So first what I will do, step number 2, write down. Step number 2, what is step number 2? Calculation of net profit for the year. Calculation of net profit for the year. Calculation of net profit for the year. Right hand side rupees. Right hand side rupees. So how do you calculate the net profit? In the question first line, gross profit is given. In the first line, gross profit is given 3,75,000. What is gross profit? Gross profit is sales minus direct cost. Direct cost, for example, cost of goods sold and wages, because wages is also a part of trading account. All of you know that wages is a part of trading account. So therefore this gross profit is after deducting cost of goods sold and wages also, because in this question wages paid is given. All of you have prepared trading account in your life. Trading account, debit side we write opening stock, to purchase, to wages, by sales, by closing stock, and then to gross profit. So I have said gross profit means sales, this is sales. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock is cost of goods sold, and we also deduct wages to arrive at gross profit. To arrive at gross profit. So wages are also deducted in arriving at gross profit, because in the question wages are given separately, and we have to understand gross profit is arrived at after deducting all direct cost like wages also. Next line in the question, point number 2, companies sold good for cash, that will not affect my answer. Opening inventory was less than closing inventory. In net profit calculation, since I have taken gross profit, opening stock, closing stock has been taken care of. No need to write again. If I am writing gross profit, it means I have considered opening stock, closing stock. Similarly, point number 4, wages. Not important now, because when I am writing gross profit, wages have already been deducted from the sales. Office expenses paid during the year, this I will write less. Office expenses paid. Office expenses paid is a part of P&L account. So this I need to deduct 35,000. Below that write down next line point C, less selling expenses paid. Less selling expenses paid 15,000. Selling expenses paid 15,000. Dividend paid will not come here. Bank loan repaid during the year 2,05,000 will not come. However, interest paid will come. Less interest paid. Interest paid 5,000 is deducted in calculating net profit. Below that you have trade payable opening closing is given. Point number 9, trade payable opening closing is given, that is not relevant. And point number next is amount paid to trade payable will not be considered here. Income tax paid during there is not considered. Provision for income tax 30,000. If you want to calculate profit after tax, then provision for tax will be required. So this I will tell you later. Provision for taxation pending. The student is asking if manufacturing expense was given. Yes, manufacturing expense is also deducted in arriving at gross profit. But in this question, manufacturing expense is not given. So enjoy dance. Then next point, investment sold at a profit of 20,000. Now profit will be added. Add profit on sale of investment. Add profit on sale of investment. Positive number 20,000. Positive number 20,000. Then depreciation on furniture 40,000. Depreciation on other tangible asset 20,000. So just write down less depreciation. No need to write separately. I don't know why they have given separately. Both are depreciation only and furniture is also tangible asset. Only the institute can explain why separately depreciation on furniture was given. Plant and machinery purchased will not come here. Debenture issued against exchange of plant will not come here. Opening cash balance will not come here. So my learned student, you please tell me what is net profit before tax. Net profit before tax. You have to tell me the total of all these items. Net effect. Net effect. What is net profit before tax? Anybody net profit before tax? Two lakh 80,000. Point number H write down. Less provision for tax. Less provision for taxation. Now here I will write provision for taxation 30,000. So you will get net profit after tax is 2,50,000. Our answer is not over. We have to use the profit figure to arrive at cash flow from operating activities. Is it right? We have to use profit figure to arrive at cash flow from operating activities. So we'll start from here and arrive at cash flow from operating activities. So please write down below that step number 3. Step number 3. cash flow from operating activities, only operating activities using indirect method, using indirect method, because presentation of investing and financing activity will be the same. Presentation of investing and financing activity will be the same. So the only difference will be in the presentation of operating activities. So this question I am going to solve by both the methods, and you will find that your answer is same. Here also my answer for net cash flow from operating activities should be same. All of you are understanding. So first point number A, you write down net profit after tax in bracket step number 2. So you will go to step number 2, 2,50,000. 2,50,000. Right here 2,50,000. Point number B, adjustments. Point number B, adjustment. Okay. Under point number B, adjustment, keep 5 or 6 lines blank. Then point number C, write down operating profit before working capital changes. Operating profit before working capital changes. Point number D, working capital changes. Keep 3 lines blank. Point number E, cash generated from operations. Cash generated from operations. Point number F, less tax paid. Point number G, cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from operating activities. So my starting number is 2,50,000. Now how do you proceed further? Come to this net profit. Now here identify those items which will require adjustment. Provision for tax I will add back. Depreciation I will add back. Profit on sale of investment I will deduct. Interest paid I will add back. Gross profit, office expense, selling expense, I will not adjust those figure, but non-cash item, item required to be shown under other headings, those will be adjusted. So first you start with provision for tax. So write down in adjustment, provision for tax 30,000. Then you add depreciation. Add depreciation. Depreciation, how much we had? 60,000. Add depreciation. Then deduct profit on sale of investment. These are non-cash items. Profit on sale of investment, non-cash item which was credited to P&L account, needs to be reduced, and then you are going to add interest paid. Then you are going to add interest paid. This will be shown in financing activity. To be shown in financing activity. to be shown in financing activities. Although we are not preparing it, I am just writing for your understanding. 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees. So we have to adjust four items. One, two, three, four. These four items I have adjusted. So what I'll do, I'll first take the total of these four items in the outer column. 30 plus 60, 90, minus 20, 70, plus 5. So total adjustment is 75,000. Then net operating profit before working capital changes, 2,50,000 plus 75,000. How much is that? 250 plus 75. Operating profit before working capital changes, 3,25,000. Then come to working capital changes. Working capital changes in the question point number 3, opening inventory was less than closing inventory by rupees 25,000, which means closing inventory is more than opening inventory by 25,000. Increase in inventory, increase in stock, increase in stock, decrease in cash flow, decrease in cash flow, increase in stock, decrease in cash flow. The question says opening stock was less than closing stock. I am saying closing stock was more than opening stock by rupees 25,000. So increase in closing stock is decrease in cash flow. And then there is one trade payable also. Trade payable on 31st March 18 was 50,000. 31st March 19 was 35,000. Point number 9 in the question. So which means there is a decrease in trade payable. Decrease in trade payable. Decrease in trade payable. 35,000, 50,000 minus 35,000. 50,000 minus 35,000. 15,000. Decrease in trade payable is decrease in cash flow. Decrease in current liability, decrease in cash flow. So this comes to 40,000 here. Therefore, cash generated from operation 3,75,000. You will see your answer is similar to operating activity. Cash flow from, sorry, this is minus. I'll just rectify. 325 minus 40 is 2,85,000. This is matching with your direct method. Tax paid, actual income tax paid, point number 11 is 55,000, and therefore cash flow from operating activity is 2,30,000. 2,30,000. Check the answer now. You will be happy to note that your answer is same. Check the answer now. Are you happy? Any query on this question till now? Any query on this question till now? Please suggest me if you have any query. I will be very happy to reply. This question we have solved by both the methods. And you will find operating activity presentation was only different. Remaining answer was same. Okay, so you have understood fully. Now one student is asking why we did not deduct dividend paid while calculating net profit. Why we did not deduct dividend paid while calculating net profit. Note, dividend paid is not deducted while calculating profit. While calculating profit, because it is an appropriation of profit. It is an appropriation of profit. It is shown in reserves and surplus. It is shown in reserves and surplus as a deduction from profit or reserve, as a deduction from profit or reserve, as a deduction from profit or reserve. Is the answer okay? So this question I have written the answer. Any other query? Your queries are really interesting. You people seem to be a potential merit candidate if you work hard. Now I will give you homework first. Homework is every day I say the same thing. All question till end of the day plus 10 more questions you will practice. Plus 10 more questions you will practice. So now we'll come to question number. Write down the question, July 2021 exam for only 5 marks. July 2021 exam only for 5 marks. You will say, sir, what is 5 mark? 5 marks are useless. Still write down if 5 marks are useless for you. Prepare cash flow statement. Prepare cash flow statement of Gamma Limited. Prepare cash flow statement of Gamma Limited for the year ended 31st March, for the year ended 31st March 2021, for the year ended 31st March 2021, in accordance with AS3. Just write down in accordance with AS3 full stop. Remove all this. Next line, cash summary account. Cash summary account. Cash summary account. Draw the format like this. Inflow rupees. Outflow rupees. This is July 2021 5 marks exam question. It is a bonus mark. Institute is giving you these marks free with minimum efforts. So we will write down rupees in thousand here, rupees in thousand here, rupees in thousand. First write down opening balance, opening balance. Opening balance is 945. Opening balance is 945. Then write down receipts from customers. Receipts from customer, little fast. 74682. 74682. Receipt from customer 74682. Sale of investment. Sale of investment. Cost rupees 4,05,000. Cost rupees 4,05,000. And in bracket write down, or in amount write down 459. Sale value 459. Sale value 459. Its cost is 4,05,000. Because it is written rupees in thousand, we have 3 digits here. We have 3 digits here. Because it is written rupees in thousand, we have 3 digits here. So now write down issue of shares 8100. Issue of shares 8100. Sale of property. Sale of property. Sale of property 3456. Sale of property 3456. Issue of shares 8100, you have written sale of property 3456. Outflow side, payment to supplier. Outflow side, payment to supplier. Payment to supplier 54918. 54918. Payment to supplier 54918. Purchase of investment. Purchase of investment 351. Purchase of investment 351. Property, plant and equipment acquired. Property, plant and equipment acquired. You can just write PPE acquired 6210. 6210. Wages and salary. Wages and salary 1863. Wages and salary 1863. Come on. Payment of overhead, everybody. 3105. Payment of overhead 3105. Taxation 6561. 6561. Dividend. Dividend 2160. Dividend 2160. Repayment of bank overdraft. Repayment of bank overdraft 6750. Repayment of bank overdraft 6750. Interest paid on bank overdraft. Interest paid on bank overdraft 1350. Closing balance. Closing balance 4374. Closing balance 4374. Total check. Total, please check. Is it matching 87642? 87642. You have to check. Now, from this example, you will understand what we do in cash flow statement. Whatever cash transaction have taken place during the year, they are actually divided under 3 headings: operating, investing, financing. That's it. Write down answer. Gamma Limited. What is the name? Gamma. Gamma. Ayo Rama. Gamma. Cash flow statement. Now, one thing I have to ask you, whether you will follow direct method or indirect method. Direct method or indirect method? Reply. Option A, direct method. Option B, indirect method. Which method you want to follow? Which method you want to follow? I will follow the same. Nobody wants to answer. If you look at this question, there is only one way you can solve. Direct method. Direct method. Jan is right. Jan, you are right. Direct method. For the year ended, Tanya is right. Venu Gopal is right. Cash flow statement direct method for the year ended 31st March 2021. Remember, this is your July 2021 exam question. Okay. Rupees in thousand, write down. Rupees in thousand, because net profit is not given. Non-cash items are not given. Change in working capital is not given. So this question can be solved only under direct method. First, we'll draw the format. Cash flow from operating activity. Cash flow from operating activity. Keep about 6 lines blank. And after keeping 6 lines blank, you will write down cash generated from operations. Cash generated from operations. We will take more and more practice in the classroom, and this will give you confidence that yes, I can write in the exam. And less taxes paid, less taxes paid, therefore cash flow from operating activities. Therefore cash flow from operating activities. Therefore cash flow from operating activities. After this, you write down point number B. Point number B, write down cash flow from investment activities. Cash flow from investing activities. 6 or 7 lines blank. Cash flow from financing activities. Please practice more and more questions on cash flow statement. This is an important chapter. One question is certain. Minimum 5 marks up to 20 marks you can get. Point number D, keep 6 lines blank. 6 lines blank. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Point number E, cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the year. Point number F, cash and cash equivalent. In the exam, do not use short form. At the end of the year. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year. So this is my format. This question will not require any working note. Directly you have to put the figures from cash summary to cash flow statement under the appropriate heading. That's it. Is the format ready? Say yes. Is the format ready? Everybody. Come on. Yes. So my question starts with opening cash balance 945. That 945 I will write in point number E. Cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the year. 945. Receipt from customer. Where will you write receipt from customer? Under the heading cash flow from operating activities. Cash collected from customer. Cash collected from customers. 74682. Positive number. Positive number. Sale of investment. Where will you put sale of investment? Sale of investment you will put in investment activity. Sale of investment. Everybody please write down investment activity, sale of investment. Write down this actual sale value, not the book value. Tirupati is right. Now next point, issue of share. Where will you write issue of share? Where will you write issue of share? Issue of shares will come under financing activities. 8100. Then sale of property, plant, equipment. Sale of property, plant, equipment will come under investing activity. 3456. What a number, 3456. Asset outflows now. Payment to supplier. Where will you write payment to supplier? Payment to supplier, where will you write? Operating activity. So write down payment to suppliers. Same line copy. Payment to supplier bracket 54918. Purchase of investment. Purchase of investment, investing activities. Please write down fast. Purchase of investment in bracket 351. In the same place, PPE acquired. Property, plant, equipment acquired. 6210. 6210. Wages and salary paid. Operating activity. Come on. Practice yourself. You can start writing before me. 1863. Come on. You can do it. Payment of overheads. Operating activity. All those items which we write in P&L account are operating activity. 3105 in bracket taxation. Here tax paid in bracket. It is appearing in cash flow statement. Cash summary means it is paid. It is paid. Dividend paid. Financing activity. Financing activity, dividend paid. So please write 2160. Dividend paid 2160. And then repayment of bank overdraft. It is also financing activity. Repayment of bank overdraft is also a financing activity. We have already dictated a note on that. It is not integral part of cash management. Interest paid on bank overdraft. Interest paid on bank overdraft is also financing activity. 1350 and closing balance is 4374, last line cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. So this completes my question. Now let us just do the closing part. So my dear student, please take out your calculator and tell me cash generated from operations. You will take 74682 minus 54918 minus 1863 minus 3105. So this cash generated from operation, here you will write 14796 minus 6561, cash flow from operating activity, outer column 8235. Presentation is important. Presentation is important. Cash flow from investing activity 459 plus 3456 minus 351 minus 6210. This will give you 2646 negative. Check the answer. Tanya is right. 2646. Investment activity 8100 minus 2160 minus 6750 minus 1350. So what is your financing activity answer? Minus 2160. Therefore, net increase in cash and cash equivalent. Please take the total of all the three activities and that will give you net increase. Operating, financing, investing, net increase in cash and cash equivalent. Net increase in cash and cash equivalent. Net increase in cash and cash equivalent. Come on. 3429. And just check whether this total is tallying or not. The total is tallying. 3429 net increase. 3429 net increase. 3429 net increase. This answer is over. Yes or no? Total tallied, sir. Thank you. You are a genius. Any query on this wonderful question? Any query on this wonderful question? This is a 5-mark exam question and we are able to successfully complete it. Any query on this question? Please ask me now. You can ask me later also. But if you ask me now, it will be easy. If you don't have a query, then we'll go to next question now. Question from May 2020 exam. You have to write down this question. May 2020 MTP. Write down this question, please. Prepare cash flow statement. Prepare cash flow statement of Tom and Jerry Limited. Wow, my favorite cartoon characters, Tom and Jerry. Prepare cash flow statement of Tom and Jerry Limited for the year ended 31st March 2020. This is MTP question from May 2020 exam. Please note down. Write down fast. You can take a photo also if you don't want to write. Prepare cash flow statement of Tom and Jerry for the year ended 31st March 2020 in accordance with AS3. In accordance with AS3. Just write down in accordance with AS3. Below that, write down summary cash account. Summary cash account. Summary cash account. Right hand side two columns. Right hand side two columns. Rupees in thousand. Rupees in thousand. Right hand side two columns. Rupees in thousand and rupees in thousand. Now please write down balance on 1st April 19. Balance on 1st April 19. Many students are saying Tom and Jerry are their favorite characters also. Very good. Now you should have one more favorite character in your life. ICAI, okay? And very soon you will see the dance of ICAI. Receipt from customer. Receipt from customer. Receipt from customer 16596. 16596. Sale of investment. Sale of investment. Cost rupees 90,000. Sale value 102. Little fast. Come on. Issue of shares. Issue of shares. Similar to previous problem. 1800. Issue of share 1800. Sale of fixed asset. Sale of fixed asset 780, 768. 768. Total of receipts 19476. 19476. Next line, payment to supplier. Payment to supplier. Quickly, 12204. 12204. Purchase of investment. Purchase of investment 78. Purchase of investment 78. Purchase of fixed asset. Purchase of fixed asset 1380. 1380. Wages and salaries. Wages and salaries 414. Wages and salaries 414. Selling and administration expenses. Selling and administration expenses. Selling and administration expenses 690. Payment of income tax. Payment of income tax 1458. Payment of income tax 1458. Payment of dividend 480. payment of dividend 480, repayment of bank loan, repayment of bank loan 1500, 1500, interest paid on bank loan, interest paid on bank loan 300, total of this in the outer column 18504, and balance on 31st March 2020, balance on 31st March 2020 972, 972. This question reminds you of the previous question. It appears institute asked this question in MTB May 2020, but actually they asked in exam July 2021, which means if you practice all MTP RTP question, they can come in future exams also. They can come in future exams also. So practice all your RTP, MTP and exam questions. So write down the answer. First write down name of the company, Tom and Jerry Limited. Cash flow statement. Which method you will follow, direct or indirect? This question can be solved only under direct method. Only under direct method. For the year ended, for the year ended 31st March 2020, for the year ended 31st March 2020. Okay. Right hand side, two columns, rupees in thousand, rupees in thousand. First we'll draw the format. A, cash flow from, little fast now because this question we have done, it is just a revision, repetition. Cash flow from operating activities, keep 6-7 lines blank, then write down after 6 or 7 lines, cash generated from operations. Cash generated from operations less taxes paid, less taxes paid, therefore cash flow from operating activities, therefore cash flow from operating activities, therefore cash flow from operating activities, this is my first activity, operating activity. Now write down point number B, write down cash flow from investment activities. Cash flow from investing activities, keep 5 or 6 lines blank. Then write down cash flow from financing activities, keep 6 lines blank. Point D, net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the period. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. So tell me whether this format is ready. Once your format is ready, please inform me. Yes, we are ready. You can solve. Today find out some time, solve at least 10 more questions. You can do it now because now you have got the answer, you have got the trick. So therefore, I don't think you should have a difficulty in solving questions now. So we are starting the answer. Question says balance on 1st April 19, 210. So that you write in point number E, cash and cash equivalent at the beginning. Then we are given receipt from customer. So collections from debtors, or you can write receipt from customer in the first column 16596. Sale of investment under the heading investing activity, and we are going to write actual sale value, which is in the rupees in thousand column 102 positive. Issue of share investing activities, please write issue of share investing activities, and that is 1800 positive. Then sale of fixed asset, once again investing activity, sale of fixed asset amount 768. 768. Now there are outflows given to you. Payment to suppliers, operating activities, all outflows write in bracket. Payment to supplier 12204. Payment to supplier. Purchase of investment. Purchase of investment in investing activities. Purchase of investment in bracket write 78. In the same place, we have one more item, purchase of fixed assets, that is in bracket write 1380. Wages and salary, wages and salaries paid in operating activities, wages and salaries paid 414 in bracket, and then in the same place selling and administration expenses paid 690. 690. Payment of income tax under the head tax paid, income tax paid 1458 in bracket in first column. Presentation is also important. Payment of dividend. Payment of dividend will be financing activity. When you do more practice, you will learn how to keep space in the answer, how many working notes will be required. So payment of dividend is 480 in bracket 480. Repayment of bank loan, same financing activity. Now you are a student, so you have to put more efforts, because once you pass inter in first attempt, you will find your life will become very smooth for next 3 years. Then you just have to worry about CA final. Interest paid on bank loan. So do not waste your time here and there and put all your efforts in studies, because that is your duty. That is your job. Balance on 31st March 2020. That is my closing balance is 972 here. balance on 31st March 2020. Okay. So first we'll close the answer. Take out your calculator and help me by giving the answer little fast. First take total of these four items. That will give me cash generated from operations. Cash generated from operation 3288. Please check. Cash generated from operation 3288. Less income tax paid 1458. So therefore cash flow from operating activity. Come on. Who will answer? Cash flow from operating activity 3288 minus 1458 minus 1458. So that is 1830. Very good. 1830. 1830 is operating activity cash flow. Now you answer me investment activity cash flow. Investment activity related cash flow 588 negative. Very good Sanket Jain. Very good Surya. Then financing activity. Very good Chaurasia. Financing activity. Very good Tanya. Financing activity 480 negative. Very good. And now you tell me net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Come on, Ji. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. So that is 762. Jan is right because total is matching. 972. Surya is right. Total is matching. So 762 is the right answer. Okay, everybody. Chetan is right. Any query on this question? Any query on this question? Come on. Any query on this question? No query? Okay. So this answer was telling. Now we'll solve one more question from recent times. Write down one more question. This is from April 2021 MTP. So write down in the notebook April 2021 MTP question. April 2021 MTP question. Following is the question, write down. Following is the cash abstract of Alpha Limited. Following is the cash, everybody write down the question. Following is the cash flow abstract of Alpha Limited for the year ended 31st March 2021. For the year ended 31st March 2021. One more practice. Right. Draw this cash flow abstract table. Draw this cash flow abstract table. Under that write inflow rupees, outflow rupees, inflow rupees, outflow rupees. Inflow side write down opening cash and bank balance, 80,000. Opening cash and bank balance 80,000. Then write down share capital issued. Share capital issued 5 lakh. Share capital issued 5 lakh. Collection from trade receivable collection from trade receivable 3,50,000. Collection from trade receivable 3,50,000. Sale of machinery, sale of machinery, sale of machinery 70,000. Sale of machinery 70,000. Outflows, right side write down outflows. Under outflows write down payment for accounts payable. Payment for accounts payable 90,000. Payment for accounts payable 90,000. Salaries and wages. Salaries and wages 25,000. Salaries and wages 25,000. Salaries and wages 25,000. Payment of overheads. Payment of overheads. Payment of overheads 15,000. Machinery acquired. Machinery acquired. Machinery acquired 4 lakh. Debenture redeemed. Debenture redeemed. Debenture redeemed 50,000. Debenture redeemed 50,000. Bank loan repaid. Bank loan repaid 2,50,000. Bank loan repaid 2,50,000. Tax paid. Tax paid 1,55,000. Tax paid 1,55,000. Closing cash and bank balance. Closing cash and bank balance 15,000. Closing cash and bank balance 15,000. Total of both sides please check. Otherwise your answer will not tally later. Prepare cash flow statement for the year ended 31st March 2021. Prepare cash flow statement for year ended 31st March 2021. April 2021 MTP. Okay. Question is very easy. Most of you can easily solve. Let us quickly solve in 5 minutes. So you will write the format. Alpha Limited, name of the company at the top. In all the chapters, company final account or investment accounting or cash flow statement, name of the company at the top. In cash flow statement chapter, you will write cash flow statement. And this question can be solved only under direct method. So direct method. Then you will write down for the year ended. For the year ended 31st March 2021. See, if you want to get full marks, then you have to write full. Right hand side rupees, rupees. Do not write in short forms. Institute will also cut marks if you write in short forms. So first point A, cash flow from operating activities, underline. Then you keep 6 or 7 lines blank and write down cash generated from operations. Cash generated from operations less taxes paid. Therefore, cash flow from operating activities. Therefore, cash flow from operating activities. Same format. The purpose is more and more practice. Point number B, cash flow from investment activity. Keep 5 lines blank. Point number C, cash flow from financing activities. Keep 5 lines blank. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Point E, cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the year. Point F, cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year. This question does not require working note. Okay. Format is ready. Yes, Surya, is the format ready? Bansode, is the format ready? Chetan, is the format ready? Yes. So this question is very easy. Then we'll take some difficult questions also. Don't worry. So this question has opening cash and bank balance 80,000. So you will write here point number E. Cash opening balance 80,000. Share capital issued under the head financing activity. Issue of shares. Issue of shares. Issue of shares, write down. Issue of share 5 lakh positive. First column. Collection from trade receivable. Operating activity. Collection from trade receivables. Operating activity is 3,50,000. Then we have sale of machinery. Sale of machinery is an investment activity. Investment activity. Sale of machinery, positive figure 70,000. 70,000. Then come to outflows. Right column outflows. Under we have payment of accounts payable. Accounts payable means creditor. So write down payment for accounts payable in operating activity. Little fast. Come on. You are a good student. 90,000. In the same place, write down salaries and wages paid. It is also operating activity. In bracket, write 25,000. Payment of overheads. This is also operating activity. In bracket 15,000. In bracket 15,000. Now, where will you write machinery acquired? Please reply. Machinery acquired. Purchase of machinery. Where will you write? Purchase of machinery, we will write in investing activity. Machinery acquired 4 lakh. Debentures redeemed. Where will you write debentures redeemed? Come on, reply. Debentures redeemed in financing activity. Redemption of debenture. Redemption of debentures. In bracket write 50,000. Bank loan repaid. In financing activity again. Bank loan repaid in bracket write 2,50,000. Taxes paid in operating activity 1,55,000. 1,55,000. And closing cash and bank balance in point F, cash at the end 15,000. 15,000. Okay. So this is your cash flow statement. Now we'll just have to take the totals. First you take total of these 4 items and we will call it cash generated from operations before tax. Tell me the total of this part. So this is 2,20,000 I am getting. 2,20,000 minus 1,55,000 will give you cash flow from operating activity 65,000. Sanket is right. Wonderful. 65,000. This is very easy. Purchase of machinery in bracket 4 lakh and sale of machinery 70,000. So this is negative 3,30,000 outflow. 5 lakh minus 50,000 minus 2,50,000. This is 2 lakh rupees inflow from financing activity. And now if you take the total, there is a net outflow of 65,000 and it is telling also minus 65 plus 80 minus 65 plus 80 15,000. Tanya is right. Please solve and check whether it is telling or not. And you can see such questions are being asked for 5 marks. These were basic questions on direct method. We will take few advanced question also, but at least this much is understandable. Any query on these questions? Now we'll come to one question number 17 printed in your book. 17, 1 7. Question number 17 in your book. The following summary cash account has been extracted from the company's accounting record. Question 17. No need to write the question. Rupees in thousand. Rupees in thousand. Opening balance on 1st January 2026. Oh my god, this is futuristic. Receipt from customer, issue of shares, sale of fixed asset. Payment to supplier, payment for fixed asset, payment of overhead, wages, salary, tax, dividend, repayment of bank loan, and balance on 31st March. This is the similar question. Prepare cash flow statement of this company for the year ended 31st December 2016 as per AS3. And now here they have mentioned that using direct method. Even if they would not have mentioned, even if they would not have mentioned, then you have to solve by direct method only because there is no choice. And the format for answer is drawn in your book. To save your time, you will find this format is there in your book. Cash flow from operating activity, cash flow from investing activity, cash flow from financing activity. So just do the fill in the blanks work for me. Okay. So you just draw one more column here. We'll start from first line of the question. Balance on 1/1/2026. So that will come in the second last line. Cash and cash equivalent at the beginning. So write in the outer column 35. Everything is written, just fill in the blanks. Receipt from customer 2783, cash receipt from customer. Next item is issue of share. In financing activity, proceed from issuance of share capital 300 positive. And next item is sale of fixed asset. Sale of fixed asset here, proceed from sale of fixed asset 128. Next is payment to supplier, cash payment to supplier 2047. Then payment for fixed asset in investing activity. Payment for fixed asset is how much? 230. Then payment of overhead. Payment for overhead. Operating activity. Payment for overhead 115 in bracket. Wages and salary. Cash paid to employees. Wages and salary 69. Then we have taxation, income tax paid. How much is that? Taxation 243 in bracket. Then dividend 80. Dividend in financing activity, dividend paid 80. Then repayment of bank loan. Repayment of bank loan financing activity is 250. 250. And net cash used in financing activity, increase, decrease, closing cash. Closing cash is 212. Closing cash is 212. So the student will now answer cash generated from operation. Take the total of these items. Cash generated from operation. Please reply. Cash generated from operation. 2783 minus 2047 minus 69 minus 115. Cash generated from operation 552. Cash generated from operation 552 less tax paid 243. So outer column 309. Outer column 309. Check the answer. Cash flow from operating activity 309. Cash flow from investing activity minus 230 plus 128. So that is 102 negative. Check the answer. Cash flow from financing activity. Check the answer. Please reply. Cash flow from financing activity is how much? 300 minus 250 plus 80. Cash flow from financing activity. Dividend paid is negative, sorry. 300 minus 250 minus 80. So 30. 30. Net cash used, net increase in cash equivalent. 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 309 minus 102 minus 30. So that is 177. 177 plus 35. 212. Check if it is tallying. Check if it is tallying. Tallied everybody? Any query on this question? Any query on this question? No query. Can we go to the next question now? Question number 18. Question number 18. Please come to your next question number 18. Keep the question in front of you. Keep the question in front of you. Question number 18. From the following summary cash account of XYZ Limited, prepare cash flow statement, etc., under direct method. Under direct method. So just make a small change in the question in accordance with AS3. In accordance with AS3 using direct method. In accordance with AS3 using direct method. Okay. Balance on 1420 X0, issue of share, receipt from customer, sale of fixed asset, paid to creditor, purchase of fixed asset, overhead, payroll. What is payroll? Payroll means wages and salaries. It means employee related expense. Tax, dividend, bank loan paid, closing balance. Oh my god. All questions are similar type. This format is drawn in your book. This format is drawn in your book. And after that, we are going to take a very long, lengthy, detailed question. Okay. So just let us keep some more patience and solve it fast. So start. Format is drawn in your book for easy calculation. In the exam, you will not be given format. You have to draw. So opening balance 50, write down here cash at the beginning, last second line, 50 in the outer column, quickly. Then we have a long question coming after this. Issue of equity share in financing activity, inner column, issue of equity shares, financing activity, proceed from issuance of share, receipt from customer operating activity, 2800, sale of fixed asset investing activity, proceed from sale of fixed asset, proceed from sale of fixed asset is 100, outflows, payment to creditor under operating activities, payment to creditor operating activities 2000. Come on, students, please write fast. Format is there. Purchase of fixed asset. Purchase of fixed asset is 200 in bracket here. Purchase of fixed asset 200 in bracket. Overhead expense operating activity 200 in bracket here. Payroll means employee payment. Operating activity 100 in bracket. 100 in bracket. Tax payment in operating activity 250 in bracket. 250 in bracket. Dividend paid in financing activity 50 in bracket. Repayment of bank loan financing activity 300 in bracket. Closing balance 150. Last line, outer column 150. Now students will tell me what is cash flow from operating activity, investing activity and financing activity. So I will give you 10 seconds to complete. 10 seconds to complete. Okay. So first we will calculate cash generated from operations. Here, cash generated from operation will be very simple calculation, 500 minus tax paid, cash flow from operating activity. Come on, how much? 250. 250. Cash used in investing activity. How much? Cash used in investing activity, negative 100. Cash used in financing activity is negative 50. Financing activity negative 50. So net increase in cash 250 minus 100 minus 50. So net increase is 100. Net increase is 100 rupees. Net increase is 100 rupees. Check the answer. Now these easy questions are over. The days of easy questions are over now. Now we will take some advanced questions that will really test you, that will test your knowledge of this chapter. Question number next 19. Question number 19. Very important question. Write down very to the power 2 important. So now you'll get a detailed question which they will ask you for 8 to 16 marks. Hope you are ready. Question number 19. From the information as contained in the statement of income and balance sheet of AS Foundation. So you are given statement of income means P&L account and balance sheet. You are required to prepare a cash flow statement under, write down under direct method. Direct word is missing. So you fill in the blanks direct word under direct method. Cash flow statement under direct method. So first they have given you statement of income. Statement of income and reconciliation of earning for the year 2010-11. For the year 2010-11, so this is your sale, cost of sale, depreciation, salaries, operating expense, provision for taxation. So this is the total expense. So you got here profit before this item, profit on sale of equipment, 12,000. And then you have retained earning. Up to this is your P&L account. You can take a scale and draw a line. This is your P&L account. Plus they have also given unnecessarily balance in P&L account brought forward. So this is last year closing balance. This is last year closing balance. Then dividend declared and paid. Declared also and paid also is 72,600. So therefore this is closing balance. These two figure, opening balance and closing balance, you will find in the given balance sheet also. These are the opening and closing balances of your P&L account. Now you are given comparative balance sheet 2010. So this is my last year, and 2011 current year. Fixed asset. Look at this land figure. It was 48,000 here. Now it is 96. So that means purchase of land. Building and equipment 3,60,000, 5,76,000. So we have to prepare some working note in case of building because there is some accumulated depreciation also here. So building figure is to be prepared. We have to prepare a working note here. Then we have current assets. Under current asset, cash, debtor, stock, advance. Four items in current asset: cash, debtor, stock, advance. Cash, debtor, stock, advance. Share capital from 3,60,000, it has increased to 444. So there is issue of shares. Surplus in P&L account. This is opening, this is closing. This is matching with your P&L account also. I will go to previous slide and show you. Here 151,800 and 163,200 are appearing in the opening and closing balance sheet. Then we have sundry creditor, outstanding expense, income tax payable, and there is an accumulated depreciation, which means this building and equipment is gross amount. Is gross amount. Okay? Building and equipment is gross amount. What is next line? Somewhere below it is written the cost of the equipment sold. The cost of the equipment sold was 72,000. The cost of the equipment sold is 72,000. And when you go to the P&L account, there is a profit on sale of an item of equipment. Profit on sale of an item of equipment is 12,000 written here. Profit on the sale of an item of equipment, 12,000. So we will have to find out in this question sale value also. In this question we will have to find out the sale value also. Is it right? So that is a little tricky affair. If some student would want to say sale value is 72 plus 12 is not right. Why it is not right? Because we don't compare cost and sale value to calculate profit. We calculate WDV with sale value to calculate the profit, which means I need to find out WDV of the asset sold, which we need to find out WDV of the asset sold, and then we can find out the sale value. Okay, so this question is slightly tricky. So first what we will do, first we will draw the format. So dear students, please draw the format and then I can solve this question very fast for you. This question we are solving under direct method, and for the first time we are getting a lengthy question where balance sheet and P&L account is given to you. So this is how usually the institute will ask you the question if they want to ask you for 8 to 16 marks. Write down the name of the company, AS Foundation Limited. AS Foundation Limited. Are you there or have you gone into sleep mode? So those who are still awake, please say yes sir, I am awake. Cash flow statement. Cash flow statement for the year ended. Cash flow statement for the year ended 31st March 2011. Cash flow statement for the year ended 31st March 2011. In bracket write down direct method. Direct method. This question can be solved under direct method because P&L account is given. sales is given, opening closing debtors are given, we can calculate collection, etc. Now draw the format. Point number A, cash flow from operating activities. Point number A, cash flow from operating activities. You can see the format on the screen, please copy. Then under that keep 6 lines blank. After keeping 6 lines blank, write down cash generated from operations. After keeping 6 lines blank, cash generated from operations. In bracket, if you have space, write before tax. Cash generated from operations before tax. Then write down less income tax paid. Less income tax paid. One student Nikhil is giving some sale value 6 lakh, which I think is not right. You can try again. Then write down therefore net cash flow from operating activity. Therefore net cash flow from operating activity. Next heading write down cash flow from investing activity. 6 lines blank. Cash flow from financing activities. 6 lines blank. 6 lines blank. We are solving question number 19. Then point D write down. Point D, net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent at the beginning. Cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the period. And last line write down. Last line write down cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. Cash and cash equivalent at the end of the period. Okay, so this is our format. But this time I will have to prepare working notes to find out the missing figures. So please write down working notes. Working notes write down. Working note 1 write down. Sundry debtors account. Sundry debtors account. 6 lines. Sundry creditors account, because we need to find out payment to creditors. In such questions, you have to prepare debtors and creditors account to find out the collection and payment. In the previous 4 or 5 questions, collection and payment was given, so you are enjoying your life. But in this question, your life will be little miserable because you have to do the calculation. And we can find out the balances either by preparing statements or by preparing the ledger. We believe in ledger. So that double effect also you'll understand. Third working note is called operating expense account. Why we need to prepare operating expense account? Because in the balance sheet there is an outstanding expense. So if there is an outstanding expense, amount appearing in P&L account is not equal to amount of cash paid. So a working note will be required to calculate the actual amount of operating expenses paid. In this question, we have been given the building and equipment account separately. So working note number 4, building and equipment. In bracket write down gross amount. Gross amount means at cost. This account will be at cost. An accumulated depreciation account. Accumulated depreciation account we will prepare separately. Accumulated depreciation account we are going to prepare separately. 6 lines blank. Working note 5. Working note 5. Accumulated depreciation account. Accumulated depreciation account. This time you have opened a new account called accumulated depreciation account, because in this question we need to find out the sale value of the asset sold. We need to find out the sale value of the asset sold. So therefore we need an accumulated depreciation account. And working note number 6 write down asset disposal account. This will help you to find out easily. This will help you to find out easily the sale value of the equipment sold. So I am keeping building and equipment account at cost separately, accumulated depreciation account separately, and asset disposal account. Asset disposal account is a temporary account we have opened. Okay. Asset disposal account. So this asset disposal account will help us to find out the sale value of the equipment sold. Working note 7 write down calculation of purchases. You know the formula for purchases. Purchases is equal to cost of goods sold plus closing stock minus opening stock plus closing stock minus opening stock. Cost of goods sold plus closing stock. Why do we need purchase? Because I need purchase to find out the creditor balance, payment to creditor, right? So very tricky question, but with practice you will understand. So all my formats are ready now. When you are given balance sheet also, P&L account also, you need to open debtor account, creditor account, and expenses account. If expenses are appearing in balance sheet either as prepaid or as outstanding. If cost of goods sold is given in the question, then you need to find out the purchase figure, because once you find the purchase figure, Then you will find the creditor payment also, right? So we are ready with the format, and let us start. Let us start. So we will start from P&L account, first line sales. Net sale is given 25 lakh 20,000. Come to debtor account, but second line. Debtor account, don't start with first line. Opening balance is pending. So sales, write down 25 lakh, working note 1, 20,000. 25 lakh 20,000. And then cost of sale is given. So I will come to working note 7. Working note 7, purchases. Please write cost of goods sold 19 lakh 80,000 plus closing stock you will find in balance sheet asset side. Closing stock is 96,000 and opening stock balance sheet asset side fifth line. Balance sheet asset side fifth line is 2,64,000. So dear student, please tell me what is your purchases? What is purchases? Reply please. What is purchases? 18 lakh 12,000. 18 lakh 12,000. Check the answer. 18 lakh 12,000. Now 18 lakh 12,000 purchase we will transfer to creditor. Very good, those who have answered. Creditor account, second line, credit side. Buy purchases. Working note 7. 18 lakh 12,000. Jan is right. Chetan is right. 18 lakh 12,000. Next is depreciation. Depreciation is appearing in P&L account 2 lakh 40,000. When I am preparing an accumulated depreciation account, the entry for depreciation will be depreciation account debit 2 lakh 40,000 to accumulated depreciation 2 lakh 40,000 when I am maintaining accumulated depreciation account separately. So my dear student, come to accumulated depreciation account, working note 5, credit side. By depreciation, first line blank. First line blank. So this depreciation is how much? 60,000. Depreciation is 60,000. Salaries and wages. Salaries and wages, look at the balance sheet. Do we have any salaries and wages appearing in the balance sheet? Check. Do we have any salaries and wages appearing on asset or liability side? No. That means salaries and wages were fully paid. Whatever is appearing in P&L account has been paid. So salaries and wages paid will appear in cash flow from operating activity. Keep the first two lines blank and write salaries and wages paid in bracket 80,000. And then fifth line in P&L account is operating expenses. We have a working note on operating expense. P&L account operating expense is appearing on the debit side. Operating expense you will write credit side by P&L account, contra effect 88,000. First line blank. First line blank. Next is Provision for taxation. Do we have a provision for taxation account? No. So I have a small request now. Prepare one provision for taxation account also. Working note number 8. Working note 8. Provision for taxation account. And write in the second line by P&L account. By P&L account 72,000. By P&L account, no 17, 88,000, sorry. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Provision for taxation is 88,000. And that means that operating expense figure which we have written was actually 80,000. Oh my god. And salaries and wages paid was actually 2,40,000. Salaries and wages. I have to sit with a scale now. 2,40,000. Salaries and wages paid was 2,40,000. Yes, now it seems to be correct. Sorry for the mistake in reading the lines. Next point is profit on sale of an item of equipment. So sales minus total expense is 72,000, and in 72,000 they have added profit on the sale of equipment. So profit on the sale of equipment will come to asset disposal account. Asset disposal account is opened for this sale of asset because we have opened asset account separately, accumulated depreciation account separately, so that all the adjustment related to sale of asset will be shown through asset disposal account. So if you are crediting the P&L account, you are debiting some account. So which account we will debit now? Asset disposal account. On the debit side, to P&L account 12,000, in bracket profit on sale of equipment. Profit on sale of equipment 12,000. So I will explain this again. Don't worry. Entry is asset disposal account debit to P&L account. Asset disposal account debit side, P&L account credit side. P&L account credit side 12,000 is appearing in the question. Asset disposal debit side we have written. Next line 84,000 is retained earning. Retained earning I don't have to write. Balance in P&L account opening balance is given. Just take a pencil and tick mark this figure 151,800. Then total is given 235,800. Dividend declared and paid 72,600. Dividend declared and paid will come in financing activity. Dividend declared and paid in first column 72,600. And then in the question they have given you 163,200. Just tick mark this as liability side. Tick mark 163,200. Come on, dear students. Comparative balance sheet now. Fixed asset, land. Land, there is no adjustment given, which means the difference is purchase. Investing activities. Investing activities, purchase of land 96,000, minus 48,000. So 48,000 is outflow. Very good, everybody, those who are replying 48,000. And then what about building and equipment? There is a working note number 4. Working note 4, asset account debit side, to balance brought down. Opening balance 3,60,000 and closing balance is by balance carried down 5,76,000. Just write it here. Opening and closing balances you have written. Next line, cash. Come to cash flow statement, point number E and F, the last 2 point. Outer column, opening cash is 60,000, closing cash 72,000. 60,000, 72,000. Next is debtor. For debtor, working note 1, to balance brought down. Working note 1, to balance brought down 1,68,000. Credit side, last line, by balance carried down 1,86,000. Now there is something missing in this account. Something missing in this account, and that missing figure is by bank. Please tell me, the missing figure is collection. Student will take the calculator, take debit side total and minus credit side item. Debit side total 26,88,000 minus 1,86,000. So this comes to, please calculate, 25,02,000. Nilima is right. Nilima is right. 25,02,000 is collection from debtor. So kindly come to your cash flow from operating activity. Collection from debtor, working note 1, 25 lakh 2,000. 25 lakh 2,000. Very good. Okay, come back to your balance sheet. In your balance sheet, next item is stock. Stock we have already done. Then there is advances. Advance to whom? Advance to suppliers. Advance is given to suppliers for purchase of goods. Okay. So there is an opening advance, there is a closing advance. So advance we will transfer to creditor account. Advance we will transfer to creditor account. So the entry for opening advance will be sundry creditor account debit 7,800 to advance account. This way the account will close, opening advance account will close, and the entry for closing advance will be advance account debit 9,000 to sundry creditor account 9,000. Advance account debit 9,000 to sundry creditor account 9,000. Interested student can write the entry which companies pass. Okay, which companies will pass. So I need to now go to sundry creditor account to record these advances. sundry creditor account to advance account. Otherwise, how will I calculate the actual payment made to supplier? Opening balance. Opening balance. This we are doing to find out payment made to supplier. And by advance, closing advance 9,000. Entry I have already told you. It is similar to your prepaid expense entry. So we have completed the asset side items. Now come to liability side. Capital has increased. So increase in share capital means issue of share, financing activity on the screen, issue of shares. Take the difference. 4,44,000 minus 3,60,000. So that is how much? 84,000. 84,000 share capital issued. Surplus in P&L account already you have tick mark. Now you come to sundry creditor account. Sundry creditor account by balance brought down. Opening balance 2,40,000. Debit side last line. Keep some space and write. To balance carried down 2,34,000. So now this creditor account has a important missing figure, and that important missing figure is to bank. Payment made during the year. Balancing figure. So please take your calculator. Take the credit side total first. Credit side total is coming to 20,61,000. And then minus debit side items. Minus debit side. So your creditor payment is 18 lakh 19,200. Creditor payment is 18,19,200. Jan is right, Nilima is right. So 18,19,200 in the main page operating activity payment to creditor. Working note 2 in bracket 18 lakh 19,200 in bracket right 18 19,200. Chaurasia is right. Shabas Chaurasia. What is the next item now? Outstanding expense. Working note 3. Working note 3. Opening outstanding expense on the credit side. By outstanding expense. It is liability in bracket opening. And that figure is 24,000. And closing outstanding expense entry is expense to outstanding expense. To outstanding expense is 48,600. So here also we have an important missing figure to bank. Actual operating expenses paid. Please find out the balance. So first you take credit side total 1,04,000. Tanya is right. Minus 48,600. Minus 48,600. So that is 55,400. 55,400. Balancing figure is payment of operating expense. So we will go to our operating activities and write here payment of operating expense, working note 3, 55,400. Chetan is right. 55,400. So I will just tick mark 1, 2, 3. These accounts are closed. Income tax payable. Working note 8. Working note 8. By balance brought down. By balance brought down, income tax payable 12,000. Provision for tax and income tax payable is same. In bracket write if you want income tax payable. No problem. And two balance carried down. Two balance carried down, income tax payable is 13,200. 13,200. So here we have actual payment to bank. The balancing figure here represent your actual payment of income tax. Take credit side total 1 lakh minus 13,200. So that is 86,800. 86,800 is your missing figure, and that is income tax paid during the year. That is income tax paid during the year. So write down in your main page on the screen operating activity income tax paid 86,800. Moonrise is right. Next line, accumulated depreciation. Just 2 more minutes. Working note 5. In working note 5, by balance brought down, accumulated depreciation has a credit balance 1,20,000 and two balance carried down is 1,32,000. Just wait a minute. Only write this. Okay. Write the opening and closing balance in accumulated depreciation account and wait for a second. Last line of the question. What is the last line below the balance sheet? Cost of equipment sold was 72,000. Cost of equipment sold was 72,000. So what I will do, I will transfer the equipment sold from equipment account to asset disposal account. So I am going to pass the entry asset disposal account debit 72,000 to building and equipment account 72,000. So transfer transfer of cost of equipment to asset disposal account. So some companies what they do, they open asset disposal account to find out the profit or loss on sale. Asset disposal account debit to building and equipment account. So let us give the effect of this entry in our ledger. Asset disposal account debit side, on the screen working note 6, below right side, building and equipment account 72,000. Building and equipment account credit side, working note 4, on the screen right side at the top, by asset disposal account 72,000. So the asset which is sold is removed from asset account. Now if you look at the accumulated depreciation account, working note 5, it is not tallying. This account credit side is 120 plus 60. Credit side means total depreciation provided till date. But the balance here is only 132. The balance here is only 132. So there is some missing figure on the debit side. And what is that missing figure on the debit side? 180 minus 132 is 48,000. What will you call it? Where will you transfer it? Please reply. Show your accounting intelligence. In accumulated depreciation account, there is a balancing figure on the debit side. What does it indicate? There was one equipment sold during the year. What does it indicate? What does it indicate? The balancing figure on accumulated depreciation account. 48,000. What does it indicate? Balance figure, I have got it. So this is the depreciation provided on assets sold. So I am going to transfer it to asset disposal account. This is the amount of depreciation which was provided on asset disposal or the asset sold. So the balancing figure will go to asset disposal account. Asset disposal account credit side by accumulated depreciation 48,000. By accumulated depreciation 48,000. So the balancing figure represent depreciation on assets sold. So what is the second entry I am passing? The second entry I am passing when the asset is sold. Accumulated depreciation account debit 48,000 to asset disposal account. This is the entry company is passing when an asset is sold. Being depreciation on assets sold transferred to asset disposal account. Good student will either write, take a photo, okay, something he will do for learning purpose. Now, if you look at this entries carefully, uh, the cost of the building was 72 and the depreciation provided on it was 48. 72 minus 48, 24,000 was the WDV. 24,000 was the WDV of the equipment sold and profit made is 12,000. Profit made is 12,000, which means the sale value of the equipment must be 24,000 plus 12,000, 36,000. So let us go to asset disposal account and check whether the difference is actually 36,000 or not. Asset disposal account by bank, balancing figure 36,000. You can cross check. There are two ways you can reach 36,000. WDV 24 plus profit 12, 36,000, or the balancing figure in asset disposal account is 36,000. So this is the sale value of the equipment, 36,000. This is the sale value of the equipment, 36,000. And now just please come to building and equipment account and close this also, then my answer will be over. to bank purchase. Balancing figure working note 4. So balancing figure in building and equipment represents some purchases made. Take credit side total first. Credit side total will be 6,48,000 minus 3,60,000 minus 3,60,000. So that is 2,88,000. So there is a purchase 288. There is a sale 36. Correct. So I am going to now present this in investing activities. On the screen, investing activity point number B, you will write purchase of building and equipment, working note 4, in bracket 2,88,000, and sale of equipment bracket working note 6, inflow 36,000, inflow 36,000, right? So my answer is almost over now. The student will have to help me in calculating the totals. So we have cash generated from operations here. Take the total of these four items. Take the total of the first four items. First four items total will give you cash generated from operations before income tax. Cash generated from operation before income tax. Take the total 387,400 minus income tax paid. So this will give you in the outer column cash flow from operating activity 3 lakh 600, 3 lakh 600, 300, 600. Cash flow from investing activity in the outer column, cash flow from investing activity in the outer column will be exactly 3 lakh negative. 3 lakh negative. Sanket is right, Tanya is right, Chetan is right, Thanga Lakshmi Surya is right, Nilima is right, and then this is how much? This is easy. I can also do it. 11,400 positive. Total of these three items will give you net increase. Net increase. This is also easy. 12,000 rupees. 12,000. Check whether it is tallying or not. Check if it is tallying or not. Everybody is able to tally. Everybody is able to tally. Say yes. 12,000 is right. Everybody. Tallied. This answer is over. Now we'll continue tomorrow, same time. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day. Enjoy your studies. Bye bye.